Hare Krishna. I welcome and invite everybody to this program today. Thank you very much for coming. So today we are very fortunate to have with us His Grace Manigopal Prabhu from Sridham Mayapur. And Manigopal Prabhu has been in UAE for almost a week now, and here in Dubai for last 3-4 days. So it is a great pleasure to host Manigopal Prabhu. And Manigopal Prabhu has been doing quite a few programs already, and a few more programs in the next few days. And I'd like to give a brief introduction on Manigopal Prabhu. Manigopal Prabhu hails from a very traditional Bengali family. His ancestral home is in Barakpur, Kolkata. And Prabhu has studied Masters in International Relations. Prabhu has been actually preaching Bhagavad Gita from the age of 8. And on the age of 11, he took initiation from his Soldier Jayapatara and Guru Maharaj. And in 2012, he took Kamil Diksha. He has learned PTC1, PTC2, Prakishas, and been courses on them. And recently, his service was to translate the book Milwaukee to Mayapur into Bengali. So Prabhu is very fluent in both English and Bengali. You can understand from such a very spatial book like Milwaukee to Mayapur to English to Bengali. So he's explained both the subjects. So Manigopal Prabhu is excellent in this portrayal and speaking about Chaitanya Leela. We have a good experience on that part because for the last 2 years. Prabhu has been almost once a week giving classes on Chaitanya. So Prabhu is a very expert in that, and Prabhu is quite young, but he's quite experienced in devotional life because from very childhood he has been into devotional life with his parents and his mother, father. His wife, Rangini Chalpatna Samati, is also here. She is supporting Prabhu in a very big way, very humble, very solid and dedicated and determined in their spiritual life. So, practicing in the Bhaktivedanta Hospital in Mayapur. So, without much ado and without taking much of a time for him to start his class. Pancha Kalpataru Jesta,
Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Jai Pataka Namo Acharya Padaya Nitai Gita Pradaya Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Shrimati Bhaktivedanta Swami Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Srinivadi Pashtata Deshkarini Vancha Kalpataru Vyasya Vipasindhu Bheva Patitanam Pavane Vaishnava Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivastava Shri Guru Bhakta Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Ram Hare Krishna. We are very happy again to see all of you this evening. I already met some of you in the previous programs. So I'm not sure whether am I audible to all of you? Huh?
Not so much.
Not so
Fine,
much.
we'll manage. No problem.
Okay. Let's see. Can you hear me now? But this much speech, I don't know how far I will be able to continue. So, thank you, Prabhu. Thank you, Prabhu and Mataji, for taking us through Treta Yuga, then Dapur Yuga. And first started with Kali Yuga, Parama Karuna Pahutrijana. Then we went to Treta Yuga. Then again we came to Dapur Yuga. Beautiful, all this wonderful stuff about Vrindavan Bhajan, Sri Ramchandra Bhajan, and Mahaprabhu's Bhajan. So in this way, when the devotees they gather in one place, they speak about Krishna, they sing about Krishna, they discuss about Krishna, they share each other's hearts about Krishna, and it makes the place as a holy pilgrimage. Wherever there is Krishna, it is holy place, it is a pilgrimage. Lord's another name is Tirthapad. Tirthapad, the one who lotus feet is the source, is the residence of all the Tirthas. It's called Tirthapad. And the devotees, they always reside at the lotus feet of the Lord. So they are also called as Tirthapad. Why? Because they keep Krishna in their heart. So wherever they travel, that place also becomes their. So devotees, when they gather together, they assemble and they discuss various relishable topics on Krishna, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Bhagavan Sri Ram. It becomes a holy place. But without Krishna's name, without Krishna's katha, it is like a cremation ground. As soon as there is Krishna katha, it becomes Golok Vrindavan. Shri Bhaktivinoda Thakur said, "Jedina grihe bhajana dekhi, grihete goloko bhai." The day when I see the whole house is full of Krishna bhajan is considered as Golok Vrindavan.
just 1 minute. যারা বাংলা বোঝে না, সরি ইংরেজি বোঝে না, তারা এখানে আসতে পারে, এখানে তারা বাংলা
Oh, they are Bengali also.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. All Bengalis, then I'll speak in Bengali. I should have two face. The Prabhu Bhanaji always করতে পারি English.
Now you can translate in Bangla.
ঠিক আছে, তো ওখানে বসো, তাহলে অনেকটা সময় আমি
How many of you don't understand English? কারা কারা ইংরেজি বোঝেন না? একেবারেই না।
তাহলে বলতে ইংরেজি
ভালো লাগে বেশি বাংলা শুনতে। বাংলায় বলি, প্রভু ওখানে বসে ইংলিশ অনুবাদ করে। হ্যাঁ?
Not Bengali.
No. Actually,
তো ইংরেজি ম্যানেজ করতে পারবে? হ্যাঁ, পড়াশোনা তো ইংরেজি। ঠিক আছে, তো আমি ইংরেজি বলবো।
হিন্দি পারি না। अगर मैं हिंदी बोलता हूँ तो ज्यादा टाइम लगेगा ट्रांसलेशन से। So better I speak in English.
English is fine. English is fine. Let's
So
go.
please come closer.
English.
আরে যে আপনি একটু কাজ চলে আসুন, তো এখানে চলে আসুন। অত জোরে আওয়াজ, তাহলে মাইক আঁকানি বলে একটু।
So Krishna's name, whether is English or in Bengali, same. So it is Shravana Mangalam. Just try to listen here and then whatever you understand, if you are attentive, it will help. So where there is no Krishna's name, Krishna's Katha, that place is called as cremation ground. All dead bodies are there. You need to first pause, stop, then I will start. Okay, Prabhu, your why mic? Mic.
More audible?
Shona
Is it audible already?
They can hear it.
তাহলে ভালো।
Okay, so let the whole environment become peaceful first, then we'll start.
It's another couple of minutes.
Couple of minutes, okay? Not 3 minutes.
আর পাওয়ার পয়েন্ট তো ওখানে আছে।
Hare Krishna. Bandhu Balade Prabhu, no sound.
Connection is being made.
What is our end time? So then one day when you all know that how Hanumanji was he was on his mission to rescue Mother Sita from Lanka. So when he entered into Lanka, he was searching out for Mother Sita. So he was peeping through various places that how she can find out Sita Ma. And then he actually was caught, and then he was taken to Ravana, and all these things happened, you know the history. And he found the whole Lanka. He came back and he met with his friends in Kishkinda with all the monkey friends, and they asked about the report of Lanka, his mission report. The Hanumanji narrated everything. And Lakshmana, they are devotee of Lord Ram. Devotees are
Far from.
so let us have patience for next 1 hour. Try to listen attentively. Don't need mic. Can you hear now?
Yes.
Can you hear? It's okay. Sorry, giving distraction. So then Lord Lakshman, he asked Hanumanji, you are a devotee, so you must be merciful, you should be compassionate to all the jivas, and you should be your behavior should be like a Vaishnava. Why did you burn Lanka? This is non-Vaishnava activities. Why did you become so violent in Lanka? Hanumanji, he said that, look, Bhaiya, so they are brotherly relationship. When I went to Lanka, I was looking for Mother Sita. But at the same time, I thought that this Lanka Puri, it must be, as I heard, that it must be very opulent, with so many people are there, and the city must be very active. But you know what? When I went there, I saw that actually in Lanka, everyone was dead. There was no living body. How come? Because when somebody chants the name of Lord Rama, then that means he is alive. He has soul. If there is no chanting of Lord Rama, then he is a dead body. So also you know that the devotees of Ram, they have a special duty to take care of burning of the unclaimed dead bodies. So when I went to Lanka, I saw that in every house there's all unclaimed dead bodies because there was no chanting of Rama. So the whole Lanka was full of dead bodies. And I thought that it's my duty to burn them, to take them to the crematorium and do all this Antishtikriya, samskar. Where is the time? I'm in a mission. So I thought better I make the whole Lanka Kuriya's cremation. So and they actually, Lord fulfilled my desire. They put fire, they set fire on my tail, and I also used that to burn the whole Lanka because all dead bodies are there. So I burned it. I made it as a cremation ground because there is no one is chanting Rama. So all are dead bodies. And only from one house I could hear the name of Ram, Sri Ram, Jai Ram, Sri Ram. Who was that? Vibhishan. So except that house, I burned all the houses in Lanka because no one was chanting. Vibhishan was a very dear devotee of Lord Ramchandra. Usually in Bengali there is a saying called Gharer Shatru Vibhishan. If someone is plotting against the family, then they call them as Vibhishan in a bad sense, but actually Vibhishan was a dearest associate of Lord Ramchandra. So Vibhishan would write down the name of Ram, 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 the whole, all the four walls in his room. Everywhere is right. Because wherever he would see, he can only have Lord Ramchandra. So one day Ravana came, he came to meet Vibhishan, he saw that everywhere is written Ram, Ram, Ram. So you can well imagine how was Ravana's reaction. Burst into anger. Hey! You stupid scoundrel, why did you write everywhere Rama's name? My enemy, my arch rival. Then Vibhishan was so intelligent. And he immediately replied, no, my dear brother, it's not Rama's name. Actually, you are my Lord. And my Bhavi Mandodari is the lady of the Lord. So I have written your name only. Ra stands for Ravan and Ma stands for Mandodari. So everywhere I put Ravan Mandodari, Ravan Mandodari, Ravan Mandodari, Ravan. Ram. Very intelligent. So devotee must be clever. When someone comes to disturb in his spiritual life, he has a way to stick out from that situation. So Vibhishan was like that. So anyway, so in this way we can see that if there is a Krishna Nam, Krishna's Katha, or Rama's Nam, Rama's Katha, Mahaprabhu's name, Mahaprabhu's Katha, then the place immediately becomes Vaikuntha. We were reading out from one parts from Srimad Bhagavatam in Avatari Desh. Forgot the shloka number exactly. It's from 4th canto. The activities of the Prachetas, 10 Prachetas. So when Lord Vishnu appeared, he asked them to pay for some blessings, and Vishnu was ready to give them blessings. So in that portion it is mentioned that there is no kuntha in the abode of Lord. Kuntha means anxiety. Where there is no kuntha, that place becomes Vaikuntha. But the material world is actually the world of kuntha. Kuntha means anxiety. Everyone, all of us, every single one of us has our anxiety. To some extent, more or less. Everyone has anxiety. That anxiety is the symptom of material existence. As Prahlad Maharaj says in 7th canto, Sada samudvigna dhyada satabrahad. They are always, their heart is always filled with anxiety. Why? Because when someone gets attached to the non-permanent, temporary things, then he is destined to become anxious. Anxiety will be there because his attachment is towards something which is not going to last for him. So there is a fear, there is a constant fear of losing something from the life. That's how he becomes always anxious. But the soul surrendered devotee of Krishna is not anxious. He's not in anxiety. So that's how they always reside in Vaikuntha. Even though their body is seemingly staying in this material world, but they are always in the Vaikuntha. Vaikuntha where there is no anxiety. So when the devotees they gather together, they discuss about Krishna, then that place immediately becomes Vaikuntha. How it becomes Vaikuntha? When we use our tongue in Krishna Katha, in Krishna's name, which Ambarish Maharaj used to do. Bachamsi Vaikuntha Gunanu Varnane. He used his tongue to always speak about Krishna. So this one thing, if we can follow in our life, we can make the place immediately as Vaikuntha. Immediately it will become, at once it will become Vaikuntha. Because when we start Krishna Katha, there is no enviousness. The source of anxiety is enviousness. In this material world, everyone is envious to somebody else. I'm envious to you, you're envious to him, he's envious to me, like this. It is happening everywhere. They have full of envy in their heart. That envy is why someone else should get more than me. If someone is equal than me or lesser than me, so, but no one should get more than me. No one should be more in anything than me. Then I'm happy. Whether you have it or you don't have it, that doesn't matter. But somebody else should not have it. That's our intention. So we always are envious. Because they are attached to material world. That enviousness, the root cause of enviousness is again attachment. Their attachment to the temporary things. But when one understands, one realizes the goal of life is Krishna, then there is no point of becoming envious. Because who is getting more than you, who is having lesser than you, it does not matter at all to you. Because that's none of my business. My only business, our whole business is to what?
Get attached to Krishna.
Get attached to Krishna. Our whole business, Srila Prabhupada said in a class in 1968, our whole business is to get attached to Krishna. So what can stop you from getting attached to Krishna? Give me some example that this is stopping me to get attached to Krishna. Give me some example. No valid reason. Because getting attached to Krishna, who can stop you? You want to love Krishna. One day we met some girls from some medical colleges. She was guiding them. So they came and they spoke to me. And then one of them asked the question, but Prabhuji, it's very difficult to get attached to Krishna, to love Krishna. I said, how? Suppose you love some boy. Why it is difficult to love him? Actually, loving is not difficult. Expression of your love might be difficult, but loving is not difficult at all. I'm sitting here. How do you know? Out of all these people whom I love, you know, you never know. So if we want to love Krishna, who can stop us? So this is only a lame excuse. No, I'm not able to get attached to Krishna. There are so many obstacles in my life. Actually, there is no obstacle. Obstacle is I myself. Because I don't want to get attached to Krishna. Isn't it? The words may seem a little straightforward and a little harsh, but you consider whether it's true or false, true or not. No one can stop me getting attached to Krishna. It's my own decision my own minute independence, whether I'll get attached to Krishna or not. If I decide on right this moment, from today onwards, I'm going to get attached to Krishna. Who can stop me? No one. There might be some distraction. That's another point. That's another aspect. But no one can stop me from loving Krishna. So we should have the intense desire within our heart that we want to love Krishna. Because Krishna is already ready to take us back. For that, we have to start with our sense engagements. There are internal senses, there are external senses. Both the senses has to be engaged in Krishna service. If someone cannot engage his external senses to Krishna, Krishna Katha, Krishna Nam, Krishna Roop, Krishna Lila, then they can use their mind. Just sitting in one place, they can just close their eyes and think about Krishna. Miss Krishna, feeling separation from Krishna. But how do you feel separation from Krishna? How do you feel separation from someone in your life? If you don't love him. First of all, you need to love him, then you can feel separation. The separation from Krishna is the highest peak of devotional service. In Vrindavan, all the Brajavashis, they were in separation from Krishna. As Prabhu was singing, Vrindavanir Torulata, Tara Koi Harikatha, Premi Koi. Even the harps in Vrindavan, they are also singing Hari Hari, Hari Hari, Hari Hari, Hari Hari, Hari Hari. It is difficult for us because they are simple. We are not simple hearted. We have so many other motives, other agendas in our life. We came into Krishna consciousness and purchased some Kuntimala and Tilak, Dhoti, and we become devotee. No one knows whether I am a devotee or I am a fraud because I am dressed up as a devotee. To become devotee is very easy actually. It doesn't cost much. It doesn't cost much actually. I don't know what will be the price in Dubai, Sharjah, but okay. Let's take it from Indian perspective. Okay, like if you purchase your dhoti, how much it takes? 300 to 400 rupees, a normal kind of dhoti, and kurta another 100 or 150 rupees. So how much it comes? 500. Another 50 rupees for your big bag and mala. 550. And then Kunti mala is another 30 rupees. And probably tilak maybe another 20 rupees. 600. So every year there is sale. So let's say there is some 10% sale. So you got everything in 500 rupees with all the discount. So yeah, you just need 500 rupees to become a devotee. Just 500 rupees in your pocket, you can immediately become a devotee. Isn't it? Very simple. Very easy to become a devotee. So how many of you like to be a devotee worth of 500 rupees? How many? No one? Just 500 rupees. See, nobody wants to become a 500 rupees devotee. Because you all know, you are expert, you all know that this 500 rupees will not make you devotee. Devotee, the very word comes from the root word devotion. If there is no devotion, then there is no point of calling me as a devotee. So the devotion in the heart must be there. Otherwise, he is a devotee, he is a non-devotee. On the basis of he puts tilak mala, so he is devotee. No tilak mala, then he is not devotee. So the life should be filled with Krishna. Then he is called as pure devotee. the one who is attached to Krishna. Maya asaktam na yoga janja madashraya. Lord Krishna says in 7.1 Bhagavad Gita that one should be asakta. Mai asaktaman. How many of you know the word asakta? Asakta? Almost. The Bangla ashakta. So this word asakta is what Krishna says. Mai asaktamana. Krishna is demanding. Asakta. You should be attached to me. This is demand to us. Mai asaktamana. Chogan jammadash. And take my shelter. Come under my shelter. Then I promise you, there is no samsara, assumption. You'll definitely get back to me, come back to me. You just have to one small thing, very small thing, to get attached to Krishna. Simple. Isn't it? Huh? Simple. How many of you agree with me? It is simple. Mataji said. How many? Simple. But it's not actually simple. It's the extremely most difficult thing in this world to get attached to Krishna for us. In theory, it's simple. But in practical, it is very difficult for us. Because you know why? Because I don't want. That's why I don't get attached to Krishna. So the sadhus, their only business is to travel throughout the world and preach the message. Get attached to Krishna, get attached to Krishna, get attached to Krishna, get attached to Krishna, get attached to Krishna. You have no other business in your life. But actually we have other business. If you have no other business, then you would not have sit here in Dubai, in this room. You have other business. We all have other business. Actually, the inner meaning of the word is you should only get attached to Krishna. In other places, you can continue your job profile, whatever is there, but attachment should be with Krishna. Just like you go to your office at morning 9 o'clock and finish your job. 5 o'clock, just close and come back to your home. But at 5 o'clock, you don't think that, okay, let me work more. Because I already got attached to my work. And then your family, your wife or your children, they're calling you and you say, no, I'm so much attached to my office work. I love my office work. I don't want to come to home. Who says that? No one. Nobody. Because they have to get back to their home. So they don't want to come back. They don't want to stay back. They want to come back to their home. So if there is no attachment for your office work, then why should I get attached to home also? Because from the office, I'll be ousted, I'll be sacked after 60 years, right? I mean, I must go on retirement after 60 years of age or whatever. Is it 60 years here? 60. So you have to come out of your job after 60 years. Similarly, from the family life also, one needs to take retirement. 60, 70, 80. There's one term as VR, voluntary retirement. If you think I don't want to get voluntary retirement, then you'll get FR. Forced retirement. Yeah, we'll be kicked out. We'll be kicked out from this family life. Wherever we are family, we are single, wherever we are, we will be kicked out from this material world, from this area. So therefore, if we don't get attached to our office work, then there is no point also getting attached to the family also. I know this is revolutionary, hearing these words, but this is Bhagavatam words. When Dhritarashtra, he was attached, so much attached to his family life. And Vidura finished his pilgrimage, he came back. And he said, you are like a dog. his own elder brother. He's saying, you are like a dog. You are staying in this family with the people whom you have already insulted like anything. And you are shameless. You are a shameless dog. You're not only a dog, you're a shameless dog. You're eating from them. They're feeding you and you are eating them. Like dogs, they go to house and house and they take some remnants so that they continue their life. You must take retirement from your family life. Why you are here? Just shocking for Dhritarashtra. But Mahatma Vidur, he played the role of a sadhu. A sadhu's only business is to cut the hard knot of the heart. And there are so many types of knots in this world. The first knot is when we come out from the mother's womb. There's a knot, right? What is called? Umbilical cord. So you have to cut that. Starts from the cutting starts from the beginning. And then there are so many knots with my family members, then my school, my friends, then I go to university, my teachers, my peers, my boyfriend, my girlfriend, then I get married, then another knot. Marriage. You have knots? Marriages?
Yeah.
Knots. Everywhere there is knots. But finally you have to cut off all the knots at the end of your life. If you think that I don't want, then you are forced to cut all the knots. So therefore, Bhagavatam's only business is to cut that hard knot of material existence. Vidyate hridaya granthi chindante sarva samsaya shriyante chasya karmani trishta ivatmanishara. Bhagavatam 1.2.8. He's saying that this Bhagavatam job starts from Sushta Shosha Dadhana Shavasudeva Kathariti, then Shunatam Shakatha, then Nashta Prayashavadrisha, then Tadarajastamo Kamalobha, Tadarajastamo Bhavata. Like this, it is going on, and then finally it will cut the hard knot of your heart. That's the only job of Bhagavad Katha. Bhagavad Katha is not for a nice sleeping pill. Because the speaker is so beautiful, he's so melodious, that I fell asleep. Like the parents, sometimes they use rhymes to make them sleep, the babies. The Bhagavatam speaker is also nice. Very melodious tune he is speaking. So this is a, in a house I can't sleep because my kids, my family, they're always complaining, this, that. Better I go to Bhagavatam class. Sleep very nice. Because nobody will disturb me. Because everyone will think that I am Bhagavatam class, so nobody will disturb. I can peacefully I can sleep. Sometimes it happens that Bhagavatam class is over, and everyone left, even the speaker left. Sometimes they found themselves alone, all alone in the desert. Because class is over, they all left, he doesn't know. They're sleeping. Class is over. So, but Bhagavatam, real Bhagavatam Katha is not like that. Sri Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Goswami Prabhupada used to say, platform speaker and Bhagavad Bhakta, Bhagavad speaker are not same. Sometimes some people comes in our life and they just do backpatting. Congratulations, you have done everything great. But hearing this congratulation from the very beginning of our life, from grade 1, congratulations, best wishes, well done, good job. We become so puffed up that if sometimes someone comes in our life and say, hey, foolish, give up everything and become Krishna's devotee, attached to Krishna. Get out. Because every time I am accustomed to see only congratulations. I am not ready to accept any harsh words. But sadhu's business is to give harsh words, because we need that. Without the sharp sword, this knot cannot be cut off. So that sharp sword is Krishna Katha. Satang prasangan mama virya sangvido bhavanti hrit karna rasayana katha tad joshanad ashvapavargatmani shraddharatir bhaktir anukramishati. So when the devotees come into our life and that they start a sadhu sangha, sat sangha, sadhu sangha. What do they do there? Satam, all the Samtajan, all the sadhus, saints, they come together. And what do? Mama Katha, my Katha. And what is the quality of Krishna's Katha? Virya Samvido. That message is Viryavati. That message is very powerful, strong enough to cut all the hard knots of our life, of our hearts. That's the business of Krishna Katha. That's the effect of real Hari Katha. It must bring some changes in our life. If not, then it's not actually genuine Hari Katha. And that Katha initially may sound like Nimpata, very bitter, like Karela juice. But gradually it will help in our devotional life. And one whose heart is simple, one whose heart is cleansed from all the darts of material elements, material existence, they'll feel it's very pleasing to their heart and their ears. Bhavanti Pitkarna Rashayana Katha. And what does it do?
Yeah. Keep on.
Gives us deliverance from the power. So it becomes the mukti is called opposite to power.
Oh, yeah.
Ashu. Soon it will give deliverance from this material existence. And it will take us, transfer us from the platform of Shraddha to Rati, then Bhakti, Prema Bhakti stage by Krishna Katha. So that Krishna Katha, which is emanating from the lotus tips of the sadhus, the Mahatma Vaishnavas who comes, who walks through our life, sometimes they come and they tries to tell us those things. We don't give importance to them. But we should understand that it is their duty is to help us only. They have no enviousness against us. Why should they be envious about us? Their only business is to make us Krishna conscious. Therefore, Srila Prabhupada took the toll of traveling throughout the world and give the message of Krishna at the age of 70. Because he could see they are very merciful. Their heart is full of anukampa. Anukampa means compassion. So Srimad Bhagavatam 3.29.17 says, Matam bahumanina dinanam anukampaya maitra chaivatma tulleshu yamena niyamena cha Mahatam bahumanina dinanam anukampaya. The pure devotee should execute devotional service by giving the greatest respect to the spiritual master. With greatest respect to the spiritual master and the acharyas. He should be compassionate to the poor. He should be compassionate. So they give anukampa, compassionate. The Mahatam, the sadhus, they are full of anukampa, compassion. But that compassion sometimes may expressed like his harshness. It actually is compassion. Just like a doctor, Prabhupada used to give the example. When he treats the small boy, he sees that there is some boil in his body and which is giving him much pain. And he sees that it's poisonous, so it needs to be cut off, it needs surgery. So then he takes boy to the operation theater, or he tries to cut that. And the boy, he screams, no, I'm getting pain, please, I'm getting pain, please, don't do that. But the doctor, he knows that it has to be cut off, whether he gets pain or not. I must have to do my job. So he'll cut that because he has anukampa. He knows that this is going to be worse in future for him. So even if he gets pain, but still it has to be cut off from him. Otherwise it may grow and who knows, it will be very severe at the end. So therefore the sadhus, when they see that we get too much attached to our family life, our worldly life, then they come into our life and they give us the message that become Krishna conscious. So Dhritarashtra came and Dhritarashtra said, "You are like a shameless dog. Don't stay here. Give up. Come out of this palace. This palace is no more for you. You have no right here." So then Dhritarashtra took Gandhari with him, and they both left the palace. And then the story goes like that. So anyway, when Dhritarashtra came there, I'm sorry, Vidura, when he came there, then Yudhishthira Maharaj was praising him, glorifying him. He was a very dear uncle of Yudhishthira Maharaj. So Yudhishthira Maharaj told Dhritarashtra, Vidura, Bhavad Vidha Bhagavatas Tirtha Bhuta Sam Vivo Tirthi Kurvanti Tirthani Tirthi Kurvanti Tirthani Sampastena Galavita. The translation goes like this: My Lord, devotees like your good self are verily holy places personified, because you carry the personality of Godhead within your heart. You turn all places into places of pilgrimage. So that is the glories of sadhana. So we go to the pilgrimage places. What do we do? We go there, take dip into the holy river, and then we go to temple and give some donation on the hundi box, and we think take some Mahaprasad, Charanamrita, and think our pilgrimage is successful. So let's pack up and go back to home. And someone else, hey, I went to Varanasi, I went to Haridwar, I went to Vrindavan. I did Vrindavan Parikrama for 20 years at a time. I mean, at a stage, 20 years I did without any break. Sometime I heard from a devotee, they are doing Navati Mandal Parikrama, and she was boasting. She said that, this is my 23rd Parikrama. 23rd Parikrama. And all the way I could hear from her with her companion, she's only babbling, all nonsense talking. But that was the effect of her 23rd Navati Mandal Parikrama. After 23 years, she learned that I have to speak nonsense while Parikrama is going on. Very unfortunate. So it is said by Narottam Das Thakur that Kila Bhatiya Duradesh. What is the benefit if we walk Duradesh, very far places? Jatha Vaishnava Nai. Where there is no Vaishnava, no Sadhu, no Mahabhagavat, you should not go to that place. Even if it is a Tirtha, there is no point in going there. Because all our previous acharyas are very strong in their words. Because at that time there is no organization. So there is no specific resolution that you can't speak something which is not according to the organization. So they would give us the truth. So they said no point of going to the Tirthasthan. So he very straightforwardly said, the Tirtha Yatra Parishram Keval Monir Dham Sarva Siddhi Govinda Charan. If you go to the Tirthasthan, the pilgrimage places, it is simply wastage of time. This is only the illusion of mind. The only perfection of human life is to get attached to the lotus feet of Lord Govinda. If I go to Tirtha, because my vision is faulty, I'll see that everyone is doing nonsense things, so many other things they are doing, and I'll say, oh, this is what Tirtha? I got some information, then I come back to him. People come to me, can you please share your experience of Vrindavan? Prabhu, this is a filthy place. So many people are doing all nonsense activities that you don't go there. You see, that's my experience of Parikrama. Tirtha, Brahman, Tirtha Yatra. And then sometime I go to Tirtha and I have to walk for a long time, long 6 hours, 8 hours, who knows. And then at night, my leg is paining. Dude, why did I go for this Parikrama? So now I have to take Volini or move. Some pain. The Parishram, it's only Parishram. Physical tiredness will come only if there is no intention of hearing Krishna Katha from the sadhus who are residing there. Yat Tirtha Salila Buddhi, Srimad Bhagavatam 11 can say, there is a Saiva Gokha. That is the first line. Jasnat buddhi kino vidha. Yatirtha solile buddhi. Bhoma ijjadhi. So these people are actually no better than the ass or cow. If they go to the tirtha and don't hear anything from the sadhus, because the only goal, the only purpose of going to the tirtha is to cleanse our heart. Not that I made and okay, 2 times, 4 times, 5 times. 5 times Brajamandal Parikrama. This is some medal here. And 5 times Brajamandal Parikrama I have done. No, you have to cleanse your heart. Cleansing the heart is the job of Krishna Katha. The result of Krishna Katha. Srinatam Swakatha Krishna Purna Shravana Kirtana Hidi Antastahi Avadrali Vidunati Sri Sata. From the lips of a pure devotee, the serious devotee should hear, and then it will gradually cleanse our heart. We feel happy. Therefore, the devotees, they always travel. Yudhishthira Maharaj, you are traveling, why? What is the only purpose? The only purpose of your traveling is to you make the pilgrimage places as places into you turn all places into the place of pilgrimage. Wherever the devotee puts their lotus feet, the place immediately at once becomes the place of pilgrimage because the Sri Krishna. So therefore, when you go to some parikrama and or some tirtha, then search out for somebody who will help us to hear, who will narrate, describe the pastimes, and not only the pastimes, the sweet rhyming pastimes that will go and sing. No, they will also tell us the tattva, the philosophy, and we should hear hard words from them, very tough words from them.
কি পড়বে যাও বন্ধ করো
Otherwise, the heart is not going to be pleased.
বন্ধ করো না চলো
এসিতে আরাম করে শেষে করে ভিডিও না দেখে কাল সকালে পড়তে দেবে ভুলে গেছে
এসিটা বন্ধ করে দে
For example, if you
রাস্তাটা
put
খোলো
the vessel for
পড়ে যাবে কোনো
cooking,
রাইদা
that vessel usually, yeah, I don't know. Maybe there's no,
ও বাবা
when you use it on the gas oven,
11 বাজে কোনো বন্ধু কি কাজ
then there will be some what do you
যাই
call
চলুক
it?
না
Carbon. That carbon will be stuck to that vessel. And if it is 1 day, 2 days, 2 weeks, 6 months, 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, after the 3 years, you think, no, I have to clean it. So today's my mission, I clean it. You take that. It will not remove. Because in 3 years, we did not take care of it. Now you want to clean it in 1 hour? Not possible. It's not possible. So, therefore, one should be patient in the spiritual life and constantly, regularly hear. Nityam. You have to hear Nityam. Srinata Shraddhya Nityam Vrinitasya Sacheshtitam Nadi Dirgheno Kaleno Bhagavan Vishatehi. From Bhagavatam, 2nd Canto, 10th chapter, 8, text number 4 says that if we always hear Srinatam, Shraddhaya, with full faith, and then Srinata Shraddhaya Nityam, we have to regularly hear with full faith, and then what we need to do? Not only just hearing, next comes Trinitasya Sachestitam, Srila Prabhupada translated, with serious effort he applies into his personal life. Whatever he heard, with serious effort, with serious effort, he applies. Not only just every day coming to the Sangha and hearing, going, taking after shot, finish. We have to try to apply in our life whatever we learn. Then very soon, Lord Krishna is going to be situated within our heart. But this happens when we hear from the devotees who have Krishna in their life. Therefore, Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, Krishna Shetamar, Krishna Dite Paro, Tomaro Shakti Ache. Because he has Krishna, so he can give Krishna to us. So therefore, we take shelter of the sadhus. When they come to our house, like Srila Prabhupada, when he used to visit everywhere in the whole planet, then they kept Srila Prabhupada's room as a memory, because Prabhupada would sit there, he would translate. So all those rooms are very nicely preserved in ISKCON. So like those kind of sadhus, they used to travel. So when they come to our house, we take the opportunity of what? We have to hear from them. Not just they come and we serve them prasad, Mahaprasad. You eat, okay, give some pranami, finish job. Not sadhu sangha actually. Sadhu sangha must happen when there is katha. Narottam Das Thakur Mahasaya again he says, Vaishnavaru Sanghe Temon Anandito Anudkham. I feel so much pleasure, bliss at my heart in the association of the Vaishnavas. Why? The next line he says, Sadahai Krishna Parasanga. Oh, Sadahai Krishna Parasanga. Prasanga. Krishna's katha. Krishna's, the subject matter is Krishna when the sadhus come to our place. So if there is Krishna katha, then that is real sadhu sangha. So you should take the opportunity. Of course, we can bring the Vaishnavas at our home. There's no harm in it. But not only just bringing them home, feeding them, and then telling, okay, we can now leave. No. You have to hear from them to cleanse our heart. The task from lotus feet of the sadhu is our only hope. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, just before leaving this planet on the 31st December 1936, actually we can say 1st January 1937 because it was after the midnight. So he was giving some instructions to his disciples. And he said that our only business in this world is to carry the dust from the lotus feet of Srila Rupa and Raghunath. Means all the Vaishnavas, the Rupa and Vaishnavas, that is our only business. The power of dust from the lotus feet of the sadhu is actually indescribable. Hanumanji, in his childhood, he was spending some time with his mother, Anjana. So suddenly they could hear some nice melodious song. And Hanumanji became very enthusiastic, very curious to know about it. And he asked his mother, Mother, what is this song? What is that sound is coming? So his mother, she listened carefully. Oh, this must be Narad Muni, because that's his voice. Only he can sing like this. So Hanumanji asked, who is Narad Muni? Because Hanumanji didn't know in his childhood who is Narad Muni. So the mother said that he is very dearest devotee of Lord Vishnu Narayana. So if you can meet him, then your life will be successful. As soon as he heard that, immediately left the place. He jumped out, you know how the monkeys are. The day he jumped out, he just jumped out from the home and he saw that Narad Muni was just passing by their home, their place. And Narad Muni, Hanumanji came. He said, oh my dear sage, so kindly give me some blessings. I heard a lot of glories about you. Kindly give me some blessings. So Narad Muni said, because he was in a hurry. I mean, he is always busy in propagating Krishna's name. Narad Muni has a nice veena where he always sings. What does he sing? Radhika Raman, 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 He's expert in singing, always singing Adhikaraman with full devotion. So Hanumanji grabbed his lotus fish and said, "You have to give me blessings." So he thought, okay, this small boy is very naughty, so I should not spend much time with him. And he said, okay, please tell me, hurry up, what do you want? No, I heard that you are the best singer. Okay, so what blessings I can give you? Please bless me that I can become more popular and more expert than you in singing. Then Narada said, okay, Tathastu, take the blessing. So Hanumanji said, wow, but wait, 1 minute. You have given me the blessings, but how do I know that it is active? You might also cheat me that you are giving and you are leaving, and if I can't sing anything, then so you please tell me that how can I test? Now he said, okay, this boy is really very mischievous. So he said, okay, I'm sitting, you sing, then I can give you marks. What marks you got out of 10? You sing. And Narad Muni, he sat on a rock and he kept the Bina on the other rock. And Hanumanji sat on the opposite side and he started to sing. So Hanumanji, because he was already blessed, no? So he knows all the melodies, raga, everything he knows now by that time, because he was blessed. So he closed his eyes and he started to sing with the most attractive and heart-soothing melody. He started to sing. And as soon as he started to sing, Narad Muni also closed his eyes because he has to give marks. So he's busy in assessing him. So he also closed his eyes and he was hearing Hanumanji. Hanumanji was singing. And within few moments, the whole atmosphere, everything got stopped because so beautifully Hanumanji was singing. It's like just matchless. So Narad Muni, he went into trance, complete trance. And the Veena was on the rock. He was also listening. He was completely absorbed in it. And after it went on like hours after hours, Narad Muni could not understand that. He couldn't realize actually what's happening. And all of a sudden, and Narad Muni, he thought, okay, it's getting late, so I have to leave the place. So now he can stop. So when he opened his eyes, he saw that Hanuman is still singing. He said, Hanuman, now you can stop. Well done, now you can stop. Really? Should I stop? Be sure before you instruct me to stop. And Narad Muni thought, why he is asking like this? No, stop, I have to go now. Are you sure that I will stop? Narad Muni said, yes. Then actually Narad Muni didn't notice that while Hanumanji was singing, all the rocks around him got melted by hearing his sweet song, Kirtan. All the rocks got melted, and he didn't notice that his Veena also got there floating on the melted rocks. It was floating. So he said, yes, please stop. Then Hanumanji stopped. Hanumanji stopped immediately. And as As soon as Hanumanji stopped, everything became again solid. So what will happen to the Veena now? It got stuck because it became solid again. So then Hanumanji say, Narad say, okay, so my blessings, you are very nice. And now leave. But then he thought that, okay, where is my Veena? Where is my Veena? Then he saw that the Veena is almost a few kilometers away because it was floating and it got stuck. He was trying to take it, but it was not coming out. Then Hanumanji said, I told you before. Be sure whether I should stop or not. So then Hanumanji, Narad said, please help me to get my Veena back. Hanuman said, I have no time now. Because you are saying, I don't have time. I must have to get back home because my mother is being anxious for me. So he started to run towards his home. And Narad said, hey, stop, first give me back my Veena and then you go. So Narad started to chase Hanumanji. But Hanumanji is a small boy. He can run like anything, and moreover, he's a monkey. So his space and Narad space are not same. So Hanumanji entered into the house, and Narad was also following him, running behind him. And he entered into the house and Hanuman, stop, please be merciful unto me. And Hanumanji was running from this room to that room, this room to that room. The whole house, he just ran like anything. He was jumping. And then suddenly the Narad met his mother, because hearing all this shout and all these things, she came out and said, hey, what's happening? Hey, Hanumanji, what are you doing? He is a respected sage. You should not behave. You should not do this mischievousness with him. Please stop, Hanuman. So in that way, Hanumanji took a tour throughout his house, just like His Grace Rasikananda Prabhu took us in a tour of all his house, throughout his house. So he took Narad through the tour throughout all the rooms, balconies, parks, everything. He took Narad Muni like that. And finally Hanumanji stopped and he said, yes, what happened? As if nothing happened. Mother said, why are you doing this? You become so naughty. You are not doing this with Narad Muni. I sent you to take blessings, not to do all these naughty things with him. And Hanumanji said, what can I do? I was helpless. Because the way you glorify Narad Muni, I thought, let me take this opportunity to get his lotus, dust up from his lotus feet in each and every single room of our home. So therefore I made this plan that I'll put him into trap, then he's forced to come to our home. In that way I got the dust from his lotus feet. So then Narad Muni was laughing, hearing of this. He said, very clever boy. Okay, now please be merciful and get my Veena back. So now Hanumanji again sang and all the rock melted. He took his Veena and then he stopped. So in that way, we can see that the sadhus are so powerful. They can make everything auspicious, pure for us. But not only just taking their dust, but also hearing from him and like make our heart cleanse. Thank you all very much. Hare Krishna. Prabhupada ki jai. Samveda Bhakti Jai. Gaur Premanande.
So thank you, Manigopal.
We finished on time.
Perfectly in time. And if you have any questions, one or two questions, you can request to me, take that and answer. Huh?
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Thank you for the nice lecture. Regarding when you said that who can stop us getting attached to Krishna? See, our mind is a bit trouble. If we want, the mind comes in the way and it does not allow us sometimes. So it's not in our control, right? Mind.
Yes.
So that's how to
Yes,
overcome this.
I accept the word that mind comes in between. That's what I told, that I myself is the hindrance, obstacle on the path of getting attached to Krishna. But I'm sorry, I can't accept the next sentence that it's not in our control. Then it's whose control? Under whose control? My mind is under whose control? Your mind is under my control? Or my mind is under your control? No.
And we are having this problem. You are chanting. We cannot, mind goes everywhere. Though you want to chant, but it goes how to control it.
Just like when the kids are young, very young, they're not. But you can't just say that my kids are not not my control. They are in your control. You have to control them. This is your kid. You have to control them, not somebody else from the other house will come and control it. So mind is like a kid. So you have to know how to tame it, how to train him. And another example is like mind is a horse. And an expert horseman who knows how to tame the horse. So we have to do that. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Abhas Viyogayukte. So the disturbance we get from the mind, that we are not getting attached to Krishna, we cannot become attached to Krishna due to the mind, is my problem, and I have to work on that. So therefore Krishna has given us scripture, sadhu, so many other sources. So we have to take that and practice, constant practice. This is the only solution. And therefore there might be some concrete practical tips that how we can be attached to Krishna. But we have to work out, we have to do our homework, how to control our mind and take it to the lotus feet of Krishna. We must have to do. Yes, it's true that mind is disturbing us, but that cannot be the excuse that I can't control it. That lame excuse Krishna will not hear. Because this mind, soul, Atma is higher than mind. Buddhi is higher than mind. So your buddhi is there. Why don't you apply your buddhi, intelligence, and control your mind? When Arjuna said, "Oh Krishna, I can't control my mind because it's chanchala mana Krishna," and then Krishna, he came up with an excellent idea that you just sit quiet and I'll control your mind. Yeah? No. What did Krishna say? Except Krishna said, yes, it's true. It's true that asam samhi mahabaho. Manodurnigraha chala. Abhyasana tu kaunteya. You have to do practice and vairagya. What do we practice? We practice vairagya. Vairagya is not going to come by all of a sudden from the sky to fall. No. We have to practice in all of vairagya. Each one of us know that nothing is gonna permanent in my life. Who doesn't know that? Every one of us. But still we remain attached. So whose fault is this? If I remain attached, is it your fault that I am attached? It's my fault. Because I know that. Because that theoretical knowledge will not help us until and unless we make it as a practice. So you have to practice it. You can't say that, okay, someday Vairagya will come, now let me sleep, at due time it will come to me. No. You have to start Vairagya, you have to start practicing Vairagya. Vairagya means detachment. Vairagya is not that you just live like a beggar. Vairagya is detachment. Wherever we are, you can practice it. The single thought, this is not mine, this is Krishna's, will immediately give us a lot of strength. As soon as some 100 dirham is lost, what happened? 100 dirham is lost. But if you think, what to do? I did not do it willingly, intentionally, it was lost. I looked for it, but I could not get it back. So then cut that thought off. That lost, and the whole day is lost for that 100 rupees. Then you think, maybe it was my misfortune. Who knows, it's fortune or misfortune. Still, if you want to think, you misfortune, okay. But then again, take your mind back to Krishna. But if you always think about that, then it's uncontrolled mind. Controlled mind is something happened. I may get affected by that, but we should not prolong it. We should not give chance to prolong it. Some painful experiences are coming in our life. Some blissful experiences are also coming in our life. Sometimes we get delighted, sometimes we get depressed, but it doesn't matter whether it is delight or it is depression, because both of the things are actually temporary. Sitoshna Shukra Dukkada, Agamai Paina Nityastam Titiksha Bharata. You should tolerate, because these all are temporary feelings. You put on the AC and then it feels nice. And after some time you get sneezing. So you see, the beginning was suffering, then you got little happiness, then again suffering. So this is the nature of this material. So we need to learn how we should tolerate. This depends on the determination of the sadhaka, of the devotee. No one can help you with that. You have to have your own determination. Utsaha, Nishaya, Dhairya. Nishaya. This morning we spoke about Utsaha in Sharjah on program. So now here comes determination. Nishaya. You should have the determination. No, I have to change my life. I have to change all my bad habits. If you don't change your habit, then habits are going to change. Finish. So we have to. We have that willpower. In English, they say, no, where there is will, there is way. You can't just say, no, I can't do it. No, there must be way, because if you're really willing to do it, you can do it. There's no other solution, no other tonic, no other capsule. Only abhyas, vairagya, abhyas, vairagya. By doing abhyas, vairagya will come. By practicing vairagya, means abhyas. Right? Practicing vairagya. And someday the vairagya will become your second nature. Whatever happens in your life, you will never get affected, because you have practiced. Anything we can get by practice.
I have two questions. One is based on what you said right now. We're talking about vairagya. So Prabhupada also stresses vairagya. So the moment we talk about vairagya, then we kind of get a lot of opinions where we kind of get confused that if you had to speak about vairagya, why are you in this class that might as well become brahmachari? So how do we take those opinions, or are those opinions correct? Second is Prabhu, we have seen, we are not comparing ourselves to Srila Prabhupada's disciples, but we've seen Srila Prabhupada's disciples when they met Srila Prabhupada in a span of let's say 12 years. I'm taking the majority of them. Most of them have crossed the anartha and kind of got, at least from my perspective. But we are almost 20, 22, 25 years. We are still stuck. We don't know that the Shraddha is still strong enough. So what is that we are missing that they did? So we can kind of also.
Thank you. The first question is that you asked, then why don't we become a brahmachari? Look, there is no relationship, there is no connection between being a brahmachari and practicing vairagya. First of all, you have to understand. Where is the connection of vairagya and brahmachari? Being a brahmachari. Brahmachari means what, and vairagya means what? There's no connection. Vairagya means detachment. So, where in the Shastra it is written that vairagya is only from the brahmacharis or sannyasis? Where is it written? Where? Can you give me some, at least one example where it is very clearly said, no, this vairag is only for the brahmachari. Vairagya vidya nija bhakti yogam sikkhartam eka purusha purana Shri Krishna Chaitanya Shariradhari Kripambudhi Kripambudhi Stamaham Prapadde. So Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he came to teach us Vairagya Vidya. So if you say that Vairagya is not for me, then you are not in the movement of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Get out. You have no place in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's movement. If you say, no, Vairagya is not for me, I'm sorry to say this. Because Mahaprabhu said this is written by Sarvabhaumacharya. This is his mission, Vairagya Vidya mission. And Vairagya means detachment. Vairagya doesn't have anything to do with becoming a brahmachari, sannyasi, grihastha. No. Mahaprabhu's many devotees, almost most of the devotees are grihastha only. But they all practice Vairagya. Starting from Ramananda Rai, Srivas Thakur, Advaita Acharya, all stalwart devotees are grihastha. How many brahmacharis you can name from Mahaprabhu's pastimes? Hardly a few. Hardly a few. Most of them are grihasthas. Even Mahaprabhu himself was grihastha in his previous ashram. But he came to teach us Vairagya Vidya. So, I don't think it's a valid point that brahmacharis should only be Vairagyas. Why did not you become then a brahmachari if you speak about Vairagya? Because they do not understand what is Vairagya. They think Vairagya means some picture like he has no home, no house, he has nobody, he has no clothes, he is a beggar, he has some coping, that's only Vairagya. That's the wrong picture. That's not Vairagya. Ambarish Maharaj was a Vairagya. Yeah? But he was the emperor of the whole universe, whole world. He was a Vairagya. But a street beggar can also be a materialistic person whose daily income is 2 rupees. He can be also a materialistic person. I had one example from Guru Maharaj in one of his evening class. There are 2 beggars. They were begging on the Howrah Bridge. How many of you know Howrah Bridge? The famous Howrah Bridge. And they were begging on the Howrah Bridge. And one day, one evening, there was a fighting between them. Because a new beggar came. And he pushed them aside. He said, let me sit also here and beg. He said that this is our bridge. Who are you? We are incoming very little and you are coming and trying to take the share from us. So then the 2 beggars were fighting with him and they chased him away from the bridge. And then these two beggars were called in. He said, you go to the other side of the bridge. Don't sit here. And he said, why? Because this area is my area. This part of the Howrah Bridge is mine. And he was in that way they are quarreling. So Guru Maharaj was actually giving it by joking. He was actually showing us that how even a beggar can claim that Howrah Bridge is his. He is the owner of the Howrah Bridge. He's a beggar, but he's saying that this is my bridge. See, this all depends on your consciousness. You can live in a palatial building, but you are detached, like Ambarish Maharaj. But you can remain under a hut. But tomorrow somebody comes and tries to break your heart, then you become angry. You're too much attached to the heart. So Vairagya is not like that what we are thinking. Vairagya means completely getting attached to Krishna. Pundarik Vidyanidhi, Ramananda Rai, they all are Mahaprabhu's devotees, but they were doing their own jobs, but no attachment. The second thing, why is it not happening to us? What I understand, my insignificant understanding is that because the association of the power of association of Srila Prabhupada was there. Srila Prabhupada is a pure devotee and he had special blessings on them. they could survive in their spiritual life, they could achieve it. And most importantly, the element which they had is missing nowadays. It's called seriousness and sincerity to practice devotional service. Because they could realize what Srila Prabhupada is giving us. And they took the total opportunity and transformed their life like anything. And the drunkard became Mahabhagavata by Prabhupada's association and his determination. So if someone become determined, even today itself, they can also become a Mahabhagavata. Mahabhagavata is not only a picture, it's a concept. Anyone can become a Mahabhagavata by following the footsteps of Mahabhagavata. They can also do that. Just we have to do one small thing. Machitta madgata prana bodhayanta parasparam kathanta samamitam Krishna. Be absorbed in the thoughts of Krishna. Always speak about Krishna and discuss among others about Krishna. Then we'll get that will give us great pleasure and satisfaction, and we can become Mahabharata, Shuddha Bhakti. If you think I'm saying I'm exaggerating, then please open that verse 10.9. Open and please read the first sentence of the very first sentence. Prabhupada say, these are the symptoms of pure devotee of Lord. Pure devotee means Mahabharata. That he has Machitta, Madhya Prana, Bodhayanta Parashara. So we have to do that. But we are not doing it. So again, it's my fault that I'm not taking the opportunity. The acharyas, they are giving everything to us. They are providing all the facilities, but I don't want. And who can help us? You have to come out from the quagmire of all desires and have the only desire of getting the taste of Krishna, his name, his form, his qualities, his associates, his dhamma. That taste we have to do. But as long as we are clinging up onto this material world, that won't come ever. A hungry man who was feeling so much hunger, so he found a temple. He entered inside, and he saw that there's a big pillar. And by the time his stomach was paining, so he grabbed the pillar and it was pressing his belly, and he found little like satisfaction, little comfort, because it was pressing his belly. So a little comfortable. So after some time, the pujari came out and he saw this man and he asked, "What happened to you?" "I'm very hungry, very hungry. I have my stomach pain because of hunger." So then he immediately went inside and took a bowl of khichdi Mahaprasad, gave it to him. "Please take this." When he gave it to him, this person who was holding the pillar like this, he said, "Give me," like this. "Please give me." He said, "Hey, come out of the pillar, otherwise how will you?" "No, no, I cannot come out because it's paining." He gave it to me. Then the pujari said, "You fool, if you don't come out, then how will you eat? Because your hands are already attached to the pillar. You have to come out." "No, no, no, I can't. If you give, then give like this, otherwise I can't come out." Then whose fault is this? The pujaris or this fools? Because this fool is not able to come out. He doesn't understand that he has to first at least for a few moments, he has to tolerate the pain of his belly, his stomach. Then when he takes the khichdi, happy, better. But that much tolerance we can't practice. The initial sadhana, austerity of coming out of the pillar, we can't do that. No, I want to enjoy this pillar and also your Mahaprasad. Both I want to enjoy. The Bhakti Shastra Prabhupada used to tell, if some valuable thing is kept on the eastern side, if you always walk on the western side, how will you get it? It is completely on the opposite direction. So material enjoyment and spiritual peace never come together. It goes always ill together. So we have to come out of this. These words may sound very difficult, hard, harsh, bitter, I don't know what adjective you want to use, but these are Shastra Katha, these are truth. And truth is always bitter. Truth is always bitter. Rabindranath Tagore, who was a famous Bengali poet, he wrote one song, he was also a song composer. He said that Shatya je kothin, she kothinere bhalobashe lage. Truth is always very hard, very difficult to digest, but I want to love the truth. This is very significant. These are very significant words from me. If you love the truth, then you are never going to get frustrated in your life, because you have always taken shelter of the truth. So you're always victorious. But if we try to cling onto something which is temporary, then we are going to get the lashes of Maya. Because Maya's job is like that. Illusion. She will allure you, then you will come under her purview, and then her job is easier. She do that. So you have to decide whether you're coming under Krishna's shelter or Maya's shelter. Hare Krishna. I think should we stop here?
Hare Krishna, I think a nice session. We invited us about questions. So at 10:20, I think we can't hold it any longer. So we have some prasadam, packed prasadam today. So please, before you leave, take prasadam, and we have some extra packets also. You can take some packets to your family members. Eko saranam devaki putra geetam, eko devo devaki putra eva, eko mantra tasya namaniyami, karma eko tasya devasya seva, tameva mata cha pita tameva, tameva bandhusya sakha tameva, tameva vidyadharminam tameva, tameva sarvam vivadeva deva, Krishnaya Vasudevaya, Hare Paramatmani, Pranatapeshanashaya, Govindaya Namo Namaha, Krishnaya Vasudevaya, Devaki Nandanaya Cha, Nanda Gopa Kumaraya, Govindaya Namo Namaha, Vasudevam Swamevam, Kamsachanuravartanam, Devaki Paramanandam, Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum, Katyayini Mahamayi, Mahayogi Hadishwari, Nanda Gopasutam Devi, Padime Gurute Namaha, Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Dasoham Nishapavasi, Shri Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
What did we say in the last prayer? Kattayini Mahayogi Nadeshu Nanda Sunu Patime. So we are praying to the Kattayini or Durga Devi or whoever that deity is, that please make Krishna as my husband. So you should also materialize it, not just prayer. So this is what I am to say, that probably my words was little harsh, not little, maybe more harsh. Kindly forgive me if any of these words hurt because if you want to make Krishna as your husband, then you have to go through a very difficult process. So many trials and tests. Making Krishna as the husband means getting detached from all other things of the life. Then only Krishna. What did the gopis do? They gave up everything to get Krishna. And this path is called as Ramya Kachi Upasana or Bhuju. You want to follow the footsteps of the gopis. Then we have to follow what they did. Hare Krishna.
প্রভু আপনি একটু ওনার সামনে থেকে হাতে নিয়ে যাবেন
এখানে রাখুন না এটার উপরে হারমোনিয়ামের উপরে
সাইডে করে
Prabhu, all of you can come and Hare Krishna. Matiji is going to sing Geet Govinda. She said she is going to sit in the side. So by the time you take the prasadam, you will nicely hear.
কতটা করে দেব? মাঝে কয়টা করে দেব?
দুটোই দেবে, দুটোই দেবে।
প্রভু প্রভু
দুটোই দেবে। এই put in the tissue, Prabhu. নিচে পড়ে যাবে। নিচে পড়ে যাবে না।
So I was told to make forgiveness from Vishnu because the words are very hard.
Yes, Sadhu is always cutting the
Please forgive me.
otherwise pillar won't go আপনার মুখে দিয়ে বলিয়েছি তাহলে কিন্তু
We are already full with the nice spiritual katha.
Forgive me, brother. I'm much younger and junior every aspect from
We are already begun our spiritual journey. Please bless us telling
Pratipadi Mrugadhanane Gopalo Ramate Yamuna Linavane Nitari Mura
আমি যদি বলি সরি আপনার মুখে দিয়ে বলে এসে তো সরি Prabhu, why-
সৌগত প্রভু